So, I got something super cool for you today. And I don't know, I feel like this one might actually get people kind of emotional, you know? Like it's one of those homes where you look at it and you go, "Yeah, I could see my life happening here." Welcome to today's episode of 2261 Central Park Drive, Campbell. I'm Anna, and I'm joined as always by the guy who gets way too excited about real estate.
Oh, guilty as charged. And honestly, I'm already excited. Like I've been waiting to talk about this one because, it's just one of those listings, right? Where everything kind of lines up in a really, really special way.
Okay, so before we get into all of it, set the scene for me. Like, where exactly are we talking?
So we're in Campbell, California, right in the heart of Silicon Valley. And I think people underestimate Campbell. Like it's not San Jose, it's not Cupertino, it's its own thing, and it's really charming. It's got this downtown vibe, walkable streets, great restaurants, and then you've got this home sitting on Central Park Drive, which, like, the name alone just sounds like a place you'd want to live.
Okay, so what are we actually dealing with here? Like, what kind of home is it?
So it's a four-bedroom, two-bathroom home, and the square footage is around just under 1,500 square feet. So it's not a massive home, but it's really well laid out, right? It's a single-family home, and the lot is really generous. And the thing that gets me every time is just how livable it feels. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's what I always look for, honestly. Like, does it feel like somewhere you could actually, just be?
Exactly, exactly. And this one does. Like, you've got four bedrooms, so if you're a family, that's a game changer. You've got room for the kids, room for a home office, room for a guest room, and you're not stepping on each other's feet. And then the two bathrooms, right? That's the thing that saves marriages, honestly.
Okay, fair. So, talk to me about the kitchen because I feel like the kitchen is really where you can tell if a home was loved.
Oh, and this kitchen has been loved for sure. Like it's updated. It's got this really clean, functional layout where you can actually, cook, like really cook, not just microwave something. And it flows into the living area really nicely. So you're not isolated when you're making dinner. You're still part of what's happening in the house. And that matters so much for family life, right?
Okay, and what about outside? Because in California, you kind of live outside, at least as much as you live inside.
Yes, yes. And this is where it really, really gets good. The lot is, it's generous and you've got a lawn, so if you've got kids or a dog or both, and let's be real, most people have both, you've got space, real space. And the thing about Campbell is the weather, right? Like we're talking Silicon Valley climate. So you're getting what, somewhere around 250 to 260 plus sunny days a year. You're not fighting the weather, you're working with it.
That's honestly kind of life changing if you're coming from somewhere with real winters.
Totally, totally. And look, I always say, a good outdoor space in a good climate is like having an extra room that you don't even have to heat or air condition, right?
That's such a good point. Okay, so what about the hazard side of things? Like California has some, real concerns when it comes to fire, floods, that kind of stuff. Where does this one land?
Yeah, and this is such an important thing to cover because, you're making a huge investment. So from what we know about this area of Campbell, the flood hazard is really, really low. Like you're not in a high-risk flood zone, which is a big deal, and a lot of buyers don't think to check that. The fire hazard is moderate, and look, this is Silicon Valley, not the hills of Northern California, right? So you're in a much more manageable position than a lot of other Bay Area locations. And light pollution, the area has normal suburban light levels, which, you're not getting a pitch black sky every night, but it's really quite reasonable for a neighborhood this close to the city.
Okay, so let's talk neighborhood because I feel like Campbell is one of those places that people kind of sleep on and they really shouldn't.
They really, really shouldn't. And here's the thing about Campbell, right? The walkability is genuinely good. Like you can walk to coffee, you can walk to restaurants. Campbell's downtown is super vibrant. And it's the kind of place where on a Saturday morning you lace up your shoes and you walk out the door and you find something to do. You're not stuck in your car for 30 minutes just to get to a grocery store.
That's such a big thing. Like people say they want walkability and then they end up somewhere where you drive everywhere and it changes your whole lifestyle.
It really does. It really does. And the accessibility here is really solid too. You've got easy access to major routes, Highway 17, Highway 85. So if you're commuting into San Jose or even up towards Cupertino, Mountain View, you're in a really central spot. And for the schools, Campbell Union School District covers this area, and the schools around here they're well regarded, Like parents in this area, they feel good about where their kids are going, and that matters.
So it really is kind of like the whole package then. Like you're getting the schools, the walkability, the access, the weather.
And the community, right? Like Campbell has this real neighborhood feel that is increasingly hard to find in the Bay Area. Like people actually know their neighbors here, and Central Park Drive specifically. It just has this calm residential energy. Like you could picture kids on bikes, you could picture weekend barbecues, you could picture, just real life happening there.
That's okay. I have to say now I kind of want to see this house in person, which was not where I started this episode.
That's the magic, right? And I think that's the thing about homes like this. Like it's not always about a mansion or some, massive number. Sometimes it's about like, does this place have a soul? And this one does. This one, you walk in and you can already see the Sunday mornings, the dinners around the table, the kids doing homework at the kitchen counter, and that's priceless, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. And I think if you're someone who's been looking in the Bay Area and you've been feeling like everything is either out of reach or just like kind of soulless, this might be the one to go look at.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Go see it like in person because there's only so much you can feel through a screen, right?
All right. Well, that's our episode for today on 2261 Central Park Drive, Campbell. Honestly, this has been one of my favorite ones to talk through.
Same. And look, if you want to know more, if you're curious about this property or anything we talked about today, go check it out. Do your research, walk the neighborhood if you can and just feel it out because, and I always say this, the numbers tell you a lot, but the street tells you everything.
Love that. All right. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you on the next one.
See you next time, everyone.